Okay, we have a 1,500 point battle report for you today. I'm playing a wacky theme army. Look at this, 3 units of destroyers, 2 full regular destroyer units, 1 unit of heavy destroyers, a bunch of jump infantry. Basically everything that can jump in this army does. That's how bad this army is. I got an Annihilation Barge, 8 Immortals, 8 Warriors. You know, I got my Lord over there helping out. And look what I'm facing. I'm going to get crushed here. I'm facing Chaos Demons with all those new Screamers with all their crazy, cheating, awesome rules. Lord of Change and his like baby Lord of Change buddy. A giant unit of 6 of those of the Flamers. I have to pray those guys fly off the board. And a bunch of horrors. So tons of awesome. Oh, these actually are horrors, or are they plague bearers? They're plague bearers. Okay, cool. So, and we're fighting Emperor's Will. So there's just one objective back here. One objective back here. We are playing mysterious objectives today, so we're going to see what happens once the game starts. We're going to see what this is. But in the meantime, my opponent could try to steal initiative if he wants. Do you want to steal initiative? Oh, you do. No, okay, he doesn't steal initiative. And I am going first, so we're going to have to spread out and hope we don't lose half our army in the first round. We'll see what happens. Back in a bit with Necron turn 1. Okay, so rounding up this crickets chirping turn 1, because I am facing demons. Top of turn 1, we just moved up. These guys only moved up, got double 1s on terrain, and then they ran another 2 inches. So they didn't actually get very far into that cover. It may not matter anyways, though, if the Breath of Chaos guys start coming out. These guys just flew around here and spread out. Look, I've spread out my army pretty solidly. I want to deny my opponent the chance to deep strike into the heart of my army, so I've tried to spread out as much as possible. You know, abusing the extra distance these guys are allowed to be, maximizing 2 inches on all these guys around here, you know, all that stuff. And that was it. This thing actually went flat out just an inch over here, so he's going to have a better cover save. May not help me, though. We'll see. And that is it. So we're going to see if my opponent's preferred group, that's the preferred group over there, that's the non-preferred one, 3+. Preferred group is coming in. Look at all that nastiness coming in. Pretty awesome. Back in a bit. Okay, rounding up bottom of turn 1 for the Chaos Demons. What happened? These guys tried to land in that general area, mishapped, and I got to place them. I could have put them in the far corner, but I don't actually want to give my opponent an objective. I want to force him to actually put his own guys there. So I put him back over here where they'd be out of range of anything to shoot, and all they did was run. They ran 6 inches toward this group. Over here, Blood Crushers landed perfectly in the water. No dangerous terrain tests failed. They ran out over here. Fate Weaver almost mishapped. Literally another millimeter. He was around here, another millimeter, and he would have had to mishap. Too bad. But he ran over here, gave his ridiculous rerolls to these guys. That buddy almost mishapped onto Fate Weaver, but just survived by the skin of his teeth as well, and then ran, I think, only 1 inch, believe it or not, despite having 2 dice for that because he's flying. These guys landed over there, and then they're allowed to make a 24-inch move in the shooting phase, so they flatted out, I guess that's what it is, right? Flat out, so they went over here. And that was it. So no shooting at me, but just a lot of nastiness landed on the board. So it's going to be a real challenge now. I've got to find some way to get through the rerollable saves of Fate Weaver with my army, or else I'm going to be in real trouble very, very quickly. So on to top of turn 2. We're going to see what happens. So rounding up top of turn 2. We started shooting stuff. We blew away most of this unit, but 1.5 guys still survived. 1 guy's down to 1 wound, unfortunately. From those destroyers, they with the help of these guys, they did that. Actually, with the help of this thing, you know, it's just so hard to kill those damn things. Fired tons of units there. Over here, we fired rapid firing. We moved further on this terrain, make it a little harder for them to charge us. We rapid fired, took 1 wound off. These guys fired in, took a bunch of more wounds off. Those guys even fired in over here. Killed them down to just 2 guys. 1 guy's down to 1 wound, 1 guy has 2 wounds, despite the rerolls from him because we were cutting a lot of armor there. And then these guys, I flew them out here. I needed a 6 to get into combat, so I decided not to shoot pistols because I want to actually get into combat with this guy. But then I rolled too low. I rolled 4, 2 2s. Couldn't get into combat with my stupid Praetorians. Wow, that's a fail on there. But so be it. So it's on to turn 2. We're going to see what else shows up in a second, and we'll be back in a bit. Okay, rounding up bottom of turn 2. So these horrors tried to land around there. They scattered just on the edge over here, but then they ran a few inches. Those guys moved up and ran. They're getting all into range of stuff. These guys flew over here. They're staying as flying, so they're still staying high up in the air, hard to hit, can't do much against him. They did fire Breath of Chaos, so this guy, Breath of Chaos, killed like 4 or 5 of these guys instantly, but luckily 3 of them reanimated. This guy over here, Breath of Chaos into here, by some dumb luck, only killed 2 guys with it, but then he killed 2 destroyers with his splitting off shots, and they made their leadership, but neither of them reanimated. Over here, those guys charged in. I actually overwatched and blew away the one guy that had 1 wound remaining, and the last guy mind-shackled himself and killed himself before I could even fight. We consolidated 5 inches towards this massive stuff here. And that was pretty much it, I think. Oh, these guys, sorry, they moved up. they thought they would assault me, double assault with those the screamers, but they eventually killed so many they were kind of out of range. They tried to go up here instead, and they failed the charge. We overwatched but couldn't kill anybody, and that was it. So they got stuck out in the ground there. And these guys over here just flew over and flatted out, so they gave themselves a 4+ save when they landed somewhere there and then flatted out over here. And the only thing that didn't show up was the squad of flamers, a giant squad of 6 flamers that haven't shown up yet. That is so nasty. I don't even want to know what they're going to do to me when they get here, but so be it. So it is on to top of turn 3. Okay, so rounding up this middle of top of turn 3 wrap up. What happened? These guys flew around over here, gunned down into these guys, made every single save. Unbelievable. Rapid firing from both of these units into here, only killed 2 of these bases. Man, things are not good. And that was a combination of shooting also with this thing. Basically, my whole army fired into these guys, only killed 2 bases. How terrible is that? That thing fired into Fate Weaver. The one stroke of luck I had is we got so many hits from the 6s, despite the fact that he was flying high. We actually made him fail 1 save. He didn't run away, luckily for Fate Weaver. However, he did fall out of the sky. So now we're double charging. I've decided to double charge. Lord is in here. These guys are in here. And there is a challenge going on between Fate Weaver and my Destroyer Lord. We haven't done Mind Shackles yet, so we're going to do that in a bit. And we're going to see what happens. In fact, why don't you roll it? Roll your Mind Shackles carrots on him. Fails, so he's going to attack himself on his own. So D3 automatic hits, let me roll that up. He's going to take 2 automatic hits on himself. What's his strength toughness is the same?
Yeah.
So 4 is to hurt himself. So he hurts himself once. Oh, fails it. Oh dear, he fails another wound. Oh my god, does he make his leadership? No, he runs away, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I just decided to film that and like flukiness happened. In the meantime, what happened on that? This guy was killed in an Overwatch. Fate Weaver nuked him with a Breath of Chaos. Got 1 Breath of Chaos kill on him. That was unbelievable. All right, so this is definitely looking up for me now that Fate Weaver has disappeared. We're going to see what happens with this this big combat over here. I am disoriented though because I double charged, so we're not getting our extra attack there. Back okay, so rounding up that combat, no surprise with Fate Weaver gone. We crushed 2 more wounds in that unit. He did survive with 1 wound though, so he stuck it out. He's tying us up. He's going to keep fighting us this turn, and that is it. So that was it for that combat, and we're going to see what happens. We're going to see if your guy shows up on a 3+ again. Your flamers still not in. Dear God. Okay, I will admit that I'm not that sad about that. Those things are nasty, but back in. Okay, bottom of turn 3. Total beatdown begins by the Chaos Demons. These guys are charging in. I overwatched, only put 1 wound on 1 guy, so couldn't quite kill a base. I'm pretty sure they're going to wipe me out completely here. Over here, I went to ground because both these groups shot at me, but I took 5 saves and failed 4 3+s because you're 3+ in your terrain. So be it, eh? What a disaster. At least these guys didn't run, and only 1 guy reanimated out of all the guys that died, so that really hurts. Over here, these guys are probably going to wipe me out. This guy over here came into here, wiped out 2 of them instantly with some kind of AP1 weaponry. He managed to charge me. I couldn't overwatch him successly. He's probably going to wipe those guys out too. Pretty brutal, so we really got to deal with something here. Okay, so rounding up that turn, not a great combat over here. Although we did stick it out. He wiped out 4 of them. We put 1 wound into him that he failed, so we lost by 3. We stuck it out. Yeah, I guess that's good because I don't have so many troops left. Although I was sort of expecting these guys to run me down and then I could try to gun him down with all this stuff. But, I'm not going to complain at this point. I need troops. I'm running out here. What happened over here? We obviously obliterated that guy. We consolidated 4 inches. I sent the Lords sort of that way direction 4 inches, these guys this way 4 inches. I'm going to try to split them off probably because I'm running out of resources here. This guy, of course, obliterated those guys in combat, ran them down, killed them instantly, consolidated 1 inch. And that was it. So we're on to top of turn 4. I've got to somehow send a contester over here and get a line breaker, and I've got to deal with all this stuff coming at me. So pretty interesting. Okay, mid top of turn 4 wrap up. There is a combat starting here. I've split off these guys and that guy. He flew 12 inches that way, charged a bunch over there. These guys flew 12 inches this way, charged into here without firing their pistols. We're going to try to wipe these guys out. Over here, I fired these guys and those guys, but I only killed like 4 of these dudes. So there's still 1 remaining. They tried to go to ground rapid fire, fire their single shots into here. The Changeling finally succeeded, made them fail their shot, and instead they shot my own guys, but they didn't kill anybody. So this survivors over here. He's successfully in combat there with that 1 unit. There and there. We're going to see what happens. Back in. Okay, so rounding up top of turn 4. The end of that turn 4. Yeah, we wiped these guys out. They did kill 2 of my guys, but we slaughtered them completely otherwise. We consolidated 3 inches on these guys, 6 inches on them, chicken away. Unfortunately, nobody reanimated. None of those 2 reanimated. What else happened over here? He actually tied combat. They caused 1 wound to me. I caused only 2 wounds to them, but they made all their feel no pains and vulnerables, all that stuff. So we're just at least I'm tying up that objective, luckily, over there. And automatically the flamers come on. They're going to make a decision of where they're going to flame. Here we go. They're coming on somewhere. We'll let you know. Okay, so bottom of turn 4, what happened? These guys tried to deep strike around here to just flame these guys to death, but actually scattered way over here. They ended up blasting their Breath of Chaos at my vehicle, put 2 glancing hits into me, ignoring cover, so I'm down to 1 health point, almost toast, but just barely survives. This guy went flying again, swooped over here, laser beamed and Breath of Chaos, wiping out both of my Immortals with all the shooting he had, and actually failing to kill any of these guys with his other stuff. So that was a stroke of maybe luck there. These guys over here, he tried to fire the Praetorians, this guy, no luck though. They fired into here, only killed 1 of my guys. I made leadership, and he actually reanimated. So I reanimated him this way, closer to that objective. We're going to try to go for that objective, if we can survive in any case. So we'll see what happens. So back in a bit. Oh, in combat over here, I actually killed 3 of these bastards over here, and they didn't put any wounds in return that stuck. So we're going to see what happens. Got a lot to deal with here. Okay, so rounding up. Man, this game is really hurting me now. I thought I had the game, but what happened here, they charged in. Basically, I fired every weapon in my army that pretty much could, that was spare, that was around, to try to gun down as many of these guys, because their Breath of Chaos on Assault is, of course, going to get D3 hits that just wipe you out on a 4+. I killed so many of these guys, but not quite enough. They got really lucky. They got 10 Breath of Chaos hits, wiped out 5 guys instantly. Now, I crushed him in combat, killed him just down to 2 things, but no one reanimated. Not a single 5+, all 1s, 2s, and 3s anyways. It wouldn't even help if I had an orb there. Craziness. So I'm tied up here. These guys are basically just garbage at this point. But so be it. At least, we've slowed those guys down. Over here, he finally wiped out those 2 guys, so he consolidated 4 inches towards there. These guys fired into here, charged into that unit. I'm a lot better than these guys, but I couldn't cause a single wound that stuck. He made his saves. What wiped this guy out? These 3 guys decided to wipe out that 1 lone guy just to kill him. So that is it. On to bottom of turn 5. So bottom of turn 5, what happens over here? Those guys charged into me. 1 guy killed 1 of his buddies with mind shackles, but then I actually failed to kill any of them with their saves. We're just, we're contesting that objective there. Over here, Gong Show, I managed to put 1 wound through on 1 guy, but he didn't wound me in return, but this is just, falling apart there. Over here, he flew up, gazed, did the Breath of Chaos, luckily didn't kill my vehicle, killed 1 guy, and then just charged and wiped those guys out. It's their toast. I have no troops left on the board. These guys here, combat, after that failed last combat, this time at least I killed 1 guy with no wounds in return, but this is not going to look too well if that guy flies over. And then that was pretty much it, I think. So we're going to see if the game ends on a 1 or 2. No, continues to turn 6. Okay, so rounding up, top turn 6. The turns are getting quick now. I fired everything I could at this guy. These guys fired in. With the help of that, took him down to 1 wound. We put some 7 saves into him, and he actually failed 3 of them. So he is down to 1 wound now. Over here, we killed 1 guy, no wounds in return. Over here, we killed another guy, no wounds in return. And here, nobody died at all, but we're just tying it up there. We're going to go on to turn bottom of turn 6. Okay, so rounding up that bottom of turn 6, he just flew over here, Breath of Chaos, wiped out that tank instantly. Over here, 1 wound caused onto that guy, no wounds in return. We finally wiped this guy out and consolidated away. And over there, no wounds caused. So we're going to see the game ends on a 1, 2, or 3. No, still continues to turn 7. My 1 chance to gun this guy down. It's too bad it didn't end there, because I did have First Blood and Linebreaker, but maybe we have a chance to kill a guy. Hopefully. We'll see what happens. Okay, so we just did the entirety of turn 7. What happened? We finally managed to gun down that Demon Prince guy with all of these, the Greater Demons with all these shots. Finally took him down. Over here, we killed that guy in combat, and over there, combat continues. Nobody has an objective, but we do have Slay the Warlord, Linebreaker, and First Blood, so we just managed to take it that way. But thanks to the game, man. Pretty swingy game. We both have 6 models left on the board. It's crazy. All right.